The tax cuts are through the Senate, and we'll all see money in days. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Some good news! Grab your stein of coffee, because we're all getting tax cuts. In days, workers will see additional money. Those of us who are paid through other methods may have to wait a little bit longer, but there you go. There's one way to stimulate the economy. Take the burden off the people. Take the burden off the people. And of course, not everyone is happy. Now, before we go through, I've got two articles I want to look at. Before we go through this one in Yahoo Finance, let's jump over here and listen to the Greens' response. You think they'd be happy that everyone is getting more money. But no, they're not. And I don't think you're going to be surprised with what they're saying.
Yet it's women in this country who carry the financial burden.
So once again, it's the old line of asteroid hits Earth, women most affected. Now, this is Senator Hanson-Young. Now, I suspect this is her entire tangent. This is how she remains relevant in the Greens. You know, the feminist line. Feminist line. Normal people realize this is rubbish. Normal people realize this is rubbish. If you get the financial burden, or if you're copping it, it's because the government has intervened and shut down businesses. They've shut down businesses. That Greens, are you saying you don't support the government's measures to shut down businesses? And it just happens that women, through their choice and their career opportunities they have and what they choose to do, often they're working in these industries. And usually it's more people focused. And often they're better at it than men.
Of this crisis. And what has the government done for them?
It's given every single person in the country a tax cut, regardless of your gender, if you're male or female. What about all those women who've got husbands who are going to get nice, big, juicy tax cuts? What about all those women who have good jobs who are going to get nice, big, juicy tax cuts? But, I mean, do people fall for this, guys? Do people really fall for this type of thing? I guess they do. She's still in Parliament.
Nothing. Nothing.
I just said what they did. The women are going to get tax cuts as well, just as much as the men.
These tax cuts predominantly go to high-income earners.
Because high-income earners pay the most tax. If you want to pay more tax, if you want to get a bigger tax cut, you just have to earn more to pay more bloody tax. What do you want? You want more charity for people? Do you want more income redistribution, more socialism? Well, it's the Greens, of course. That's what they want.
Who does that mean? Men.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, everyone's well aware of her reputation. Just look what happened to Lionel when he tried to call it out.
This government has made choices today that prioritise the rich over the poor, men over women, and millionaires over the unemployed. This is
and billionaires over millionaires, and trillionaires over billionaires. Hiss, hiss, hiss. I mean, come on. Her voters can't be that dumb. They have to understand that in a progressive tax system, that people who earn more are going to get more because they pay more.
This is not the type of response we need if we are to get out of this economic crisis.
I don't think the Greens can have any position with regards to the economy that can be considered at all with any legitimacy. They want to destroy our fossil fuel industry. They want to get rid of the major exports that are coming out of this country. How can anyone take anything they say about the economy seriously? And I honestly think most of the people who vote for them, they're just champagne sipping socialists who care about plants and the environment and are just posturing. They don't really look into any of the policies. They don't look at all the conflicting arguments that are coming out of the Greens. Not at all. They just want to feel good, put up their little sign. I mean, I've met them. You can't have a legitimate discussion with them. Yeah. And some of them, I remember years ago, there's this one at the political event, there's this one Green guy, and he was so huge, he needed 2 seats. Not that that's just, that's died. That's every politician. Every political party, sadly. We need a carnival party, guys. What do you reckon, a carnival party? Oh, they'd make that. They'd call it right-wing so quick it wouldn't be funny.
All the economists say that.
No, they don't. No, not at all. There are other economists saying that we need to be more austere. We need austerity. So not all the economists do. Once again, it's the Greens jumping to conclusions.
But the government is blinded by their own ideology.
Greens complaining about ideology. Wow. Wow. They're an ideologically focused party. They've been taken over by the socialists, by the lefties, by the extreme lefties.
$50 billion a year. Imagine what that money could be spent on if it was...
Imagine what it will be spent on when it's in the hands of the people who earned the bloody money. You know, letting people have their money. People earned it. It's theirs. It's not yours. You're taking it off people. You are taking someone's mortgage payment. You are taking food out of a child's mouth every time you take tax dollars off them. Every time. And that's what these people don't understand. That's what they don't understand. You know, they're the reason why people don't have any savings. Because because of your interventions in the market, shoot up housing. Now people's desperate to get into it. Some people have even given up.
Was invested more wisely.
No. See, this is the fundamental difference between their position and other people. Well, interventionist governments or authoritarians on the left, particularly, and left-right doesn't really matter. It's more authoritarian and individual liberty. That's the spectrum that we need to look at. Where Parliament's full of authoritarians that want to intervene in your life and take control because they know better. Particularly the Greens, they're the worst of all of them, guys. They're the worst of all of them. And Australians just lap up this shit because they want to dob everyone in and live the good life, eh?
Because this is about choice.
You probably would have pissed it away on windmills and solar farms that are, running at 30% capacity, a huge amount of capex. You would have sent it all over to China. It would have all been manufactured overseas, China and Germany, and a few construction jobs here that disappear after 3 months. Some crane lifters and stuff like that.
And rather than giving money to the rich and leaving the poor with nothing, rather than prioritise...
Well, you got to work. That's life. That's life. We can't all be politicians. We can't all be politicians and just ramble on about the wage gap and inequality and get paid. Some people have to actually work and produce things.
High-income earners and men over women, rather than prioritising millionaires over the unemployed. Imagine what $50 billion a year could do. Nothing.
Do bugger all. You'd piss it away. How much money does the government piss away on stuff? How much is already shipped, to redistributed? It wouldn't make a difference.
We could be investing in our education.
Well, we did. We tried that. Investigated in the, building education revolution, pissed money up against the wall. Yeah, there's the outcome. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
System. We could be making sure our aged care system has well-paid staff.
Will that make any difference to the quality of outcome we get from the aged care system? Shouldn't your pay be what the market demands? Maybe the government needs to step back a little bit. But they don't see that.
To care for our elderly. We could have well-funded hospitals.
We do. We have some of the best hospitals in the world. But it's never enough. It's never enough. Never enough. They always want more.
To make sure our healthcare in the middle of a health crisis
is that a pause?
Actually delivers the services it needs.
It is. How is it not?
So I'm strongly opposed to this piece of legislation because the government's choices in this crisis are backwards.
The government created the crisis. Well, there's the Senate. No one's listening. No one's listening. Best beard in the House. Yeah. Respect.
Rich over poor, men over women.
So she's making it a class divide, a sexist divide. Is anyone surprised? Let me know in the comments if you're surprised. it's this type of thinking that is why we want to ensure the voting age remains above 16. This is why the Greens want to get the voting age lower, because it's going to work to their advantage. Because you have the people who've got, frankly, less mental development, their brains are still developing, believing this garbage that she's saying. That's it. They fall for this stuff because it's emotional. It's emotional.
Over the unemployed. If you want to know what this government stands for, it stands for greed.
Oh, yeah, she's right. But, I mean, all politicians are like that. You're no different. You're no different. So there we have it, guys. That's the Greens' take on this. The Greens' take. So I can't say, I'm not particularly surprised with Senator Young's take on it. What about you? So let's have a look, guys. We're going to get these tax cuts, these evil, evil tax cuts that apparently are for men and not for women. So women, girls, sorry, I know we've got about 14% of you are actually watching the channel. You're not allowed these tax cuts. So Senator Young said, no, you're not going to get them. Okay? It's okay. Oh, what? You will get them? Oh, then what's she talking about? What's she prattling on about? So the budget tax cuts have officially passed the Senate, meaning Australians will soon be seeing heavier pay packets. The Senate passed the Treasury Laws Amendment, a tax plan for the COVID-19 Economic Recovery Bill 2020 on Friday, with no amendments, shortly after it was introduced in Parliament on Wednesday. The tax cuts reflect a change in the planned tax cut schedule, meaning cuts planned for July 2022 will now come into place immediately and be backdated to the 1st of July 2020. Around 11.6 million Australians are expected to see some benefit, with the 19% tax threshold increasing from 41,000 to 45,000, and the 32.5% threshold climbing from 90,000 to 120,000. So, how is this only favouring the rich? How is this only favouring men? She's just talking rubbish. She's just talking rubbish. How many people earn 41,000? Everyone's going to get the benefit of this. Everyone is going to get the benefit of this. Additionally, the low and middle income tax offset is being increased for another year. So there you have it. There you have it. If you earn up to $40,000, you'll save up to $1,060. If you earn more than $40,000 and up to $80,000, you'll save $2,160. If you earn more than $80,000 up to $100,000, you'll save up to $2,445. If you're between 100 and 120, you'll save $2,745. And if you earn more than 120,000 and 200,000, you'll save $2,565. Now, if you're one of these people that are going, oh no, the government shouldn't be doing this, you can voluntarily make additional payments to the tax department. You can do it. Just do it. So anyone who says that, anyone who says, oh no, the government needs to keep that money to spend, yada yada, just tell them to make voluntary payments. None of them ever bloody well do. It's all talk and BS. It's all talk. People want their money. People work for it. You've got to remember, this isn't the government's money. This is our money. It's money that we have earned. It's money that we have earned. Political class, I guess they're just so far removed. So far, they don't realize that every dollar they take is a dollar out of a hungry kid's mouth. It's a dollar that someone could spend on their children. It's a dollar that, I can play these emotional games too. We can do the same thing. It's a dollar that's keeping a poor person out of a house. Maybe if we had more, maybe if you could stash away another $1,000 a year, you'd be able to at least get a chance of having a rainy day fund. But no, the Greens don't want that. They want you dependent on the state, because then it's more poor people that they can prattle on about. Let's destroy entire industries that provide employment to instead have temporary construction projects for renewable jobs that increase the cost of power, that will also damage other industries, and all from imported materials. Fantastic. Win-win. I mean, come on. Do people fall for this? I guess they must. They're in Parliament. I'm really thinking we need to start the carnival party. So what we've legislated today is income tax relief for hard-working Australians. That's it. Hard-working Australians, the people that are actually doing the heavy lifting in the economy. That's the thing. Hanson Young, she'll be over here. She'll be saving that $2,500. Is she going to be donating that back to the government? Maybe she should. Commenting on the successful passage of the tax cut bill, the ATO said it will update the tax withholding schedules, and the new tax brackets will be ready next week to be published on its website. So what happens next? Employers will then need to adjust their payroll processes and systems so that their employees' take-home pay matches up with the new tax brackets. The complexity of implementing these adjustments may be different for each employer, the ATO said. This means that some people may notice the tax cuts reflected in their take-home pay within a few days or weeks, while others it may be longer. The excess tax workers paid between the 1st of July and now will be included in their tax assessment at the end of the year. The adjustments to the withholding schedules are designed to ensure that taxpayers have the correct amount of tax withheld from their pay going forward, the ATO said. It is not possible for the ATO to determine the extent of over-withholding that may have occurred for each and every taxpayer, as this is highly dependent on individual circumstances and will be dependent for everybody. See, here's the thing, guys. When you get a tax refund, that's the government having taken too much tax off you and giving back your own money. A lot of people don't realize this. This is why I would advocate to completely abolish pay-as-you-go and have individuals pay tax at the end of the year. I know it would be a complete disaster, but I think it would be the most effective way to shift the Overton window to a more individual focus rather than collectivist if people realize how much of their money they have to give. Most of these people that are in Parliament, if they've never actually run a business, if they've only ever been through the teachers' union or been, one of these government jobs, civil servant job, and pretty much just grown all the way up there, they may never actually had to have handed over a check to the government. Shouldn't that be a prerequisite? Maybe that is. You're not allowed. Okay, here's what we need to come away with. A carnival party, and no one can be in Parliament unless you've actually had to send your own, cash check or modern equivalent to the tax department. There we go. Perfect. I've solved all of our problems right there. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Are you looking forward to these tax cuts? What would you spend the extra couple of grand on or $1,000 on? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next episode.